Hello everyone, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to show you how to make custom click detectors. So basically we have two parts right here, and when you hover your mouse over it, it will show what it's going to do, and then when you click on it, it'll actually do the action. So I'm actually making two little versions of this, so make sure to stick around for the end if you want to have this this thing where you hover over it. So when we click on this, you can see that the base plate turned red, and when we hover over this, it says "Hi, I like cheese." That was just an example. So I'll see you guys in the video. So first, we're going to insert a screen GUI, and then a text label, and this is gonna show what we're gonna be clicking or doing when we click. So I'm first just gonna do some little customization here. So I'm just gonna make it. So here we have this, just our little thing. It's not gonna be anything fancy. So now in here we're gonna insert a local script into the screen GUI. And we're gonna use a thing called mouse. So the way to get that is you do local mouse, let me do lowercase, equals game.players.local player. And then you do a colon and then do get mouse. So now we have this right here. So we have our mouse. So now I'm gonna get a way for you to sense when the mouse clicks. You do mouse dot button one down, and then make this an event, a function, connect, and that. Yeah, and then drop some lines. So this is where we're actually gonna do the display of things. And this is where we're gonna put our code. So there's certain properties of mouse, and we're gonna use one called mouse.target, which is like the object that the mouse is clicking on. So when the mouse does that, this is going to be just for testing. I'm going to change this. Mouse start target. So now we press F5 to run the game, and let it load. So you see when I click on this, if you look in the output, it says base plate times. It just keeps on going. So now I'm gonna go back into my code. So right here, we're gonna change this. So instead of, delete that right there. So now we're gonna insert a part. So this is gonna be a part that will be like a click detector. So I anchored it, by the way. So we're gonna insert in a string value, and I'm just gonna call this like clickable. So what this is kind of like a verification. So when the mouse clicks on this part, and it will sense, is the clickable part, is this clickable object here? So this is basically this string value right here is saying that this object right here, the part, has a click detector, but it's a custom click detector. So you'll see what I mean soon. So now we're gonna put a little if statement. So if mouse.target find first child, and then so what this is doing is saying it's gonna make a true nil value. So if you say if mouse.target, and you can find, and we're gonna put the name clickable in here. If the mouse target has the clickable object in it, then drop some lines, we don't really need that space. So then let's print mouse.target. So let's do F5, test the game. As you can see, if I click on the base plate, nothing happens in the output. If I click on this, it says part, because the part right here has the clickable object in it, the string value that we just inserted. So now, let's see. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a remote event. So I mean, remote events are very important for filtering enabled. It's a way for the client, which is my computer, to communicate with the Roblox's server. I really recommend checking out some other videos on this topic because it takes some practice to get used to, but it's very, very, very useful and crucial for making games. So I'm gonna call this remote event. I'm just gonna call it like base plate change. Let's call it change base plate color. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna do game.replicated storage dot change base plate color. We're gonna do fire server. So what this is doing, it says if they find the cookie part, then tell the server to change the base plate color. So, but then we need a server script, so we're just gonna put a script in the server script service. So it'll do game.replicated storage dot change base plate color dot on server event and connect, that is all stuff. And here we have our event, and then just do workspace dot baseplate dot I'm doing a color. Okay, color equals color 3. I'm just gonna do from RGB. Let's just do 25500. So since this is 255 is R, this is gonna make the base plate red. So what this is doing is when the remote event is fired by the client, change the base plate color. But there's a problem here. You see, there's a problem right here in this line because we don't know which remote event we're going to be doing. So in here on this string value, I'm going to insert another string value. This will be called actually no, it's not going to be a string value. Scratch that. It's going to be an object value. It's going to make things more efficient. So we're going to do this is going to be called a remote event. So basically what this is going to be the remote event that the click detector is tied to. So you see on the value, you click on that, and you see there's a little brick above your cursor. So move that over to replicated storage for change base plate color. So you see the value is now that object. It's not a string value, it's an object value. So now let's change this. So delete this now and do the mouse.target, and that would be the part, .clickable, .remote event, .value, and then fire server. So what this is doing is it's getting the value, which is the object, and then firing the server. So, let me see, I think we're good to test this. Yeah, let's test this. So now if we click on this, you can see the base plate turned red. So that's great, that's good. So now, everything works right here. We pretty much just made a custom click detector right here. But, you guys can stop watching at this point. But here, I'm gonna go over the little, the thing that says object right here. So it'll display which part you are, and what you're gonna do. So the reason why this is a string value is because this is gonna say what the part's gonna do, and what the click detector is gonna do. So first, let's just write change base plate color. This is like the instructions. This text is going to appear on the GUI on the screen GUI. So let's do. First to set this up, I'm just gonna write local, script.parent. I'm gonna name this text label click info. So script.parent.clickinfo dot visible equals false. So this is gonna just when it sets up, it's gonna make it not visible. And then we're gonna do script.parent. So when you click it, script.parent.clickinfo. So when the person clicks, .text equals, so we're gonna do mouse.target.clickable. So what this is doing is it's changing this clickinfo's text to mouse.target.clickable.value. So it's changing it to the instructions we just specified in the string value. But now we need to make it visible. So let's do script.parent.clickinfo.visible equals true, not false. And then I'm just gonna drop lines for organization. So we have this right here, but now we need to make it invisible again. So I'm just gonna make it weight 2, and just gonna make it visible false right here. So this is just making it invisible now. So now I'm gonna do this. Reload. Okay, so we're in here. Click on this. See, it says change base plate's color, and then it goes away. See, it's working, right? Well, there's one problem to this. So you see, if I spam this, it's like it's kind of being weird. You see? I mean, it's being glitchy. It's acting up. So there's a way to fix this. There's a concept called debounce, which you should also know. It's very, very helpful for dealing with these kind of things. So we're gonna make a new variable. We're gonna call it local info debounce. I'm just gonna name my debounce equals false. So now you see all this code right here. We're gonna press tab to indent it, and then we're gonna do if info debounce equals false. Wow, false. Then put an end there. Drop a line. Info debounce equals true, and then make it info debounce equals false. So what this is saying is, so if the info debounce is false, so if it's not in this whole cycle of doing all these things, then info debounce is true. So if we click it again, it will not work. Like, it won't be able to run through this. Oh, this is complicated to explain. And then it says it's false. So basically this is, if it's in the middle of the cycle, then don't do anything. And this is saying it is in the cycle, so it is in the cycle. I'm just gonna write some comments. So not in cycle. Oh, and by the way, I'll be linking this, like a download file to this place somewhere in the description if I'm able to. So watch out for that if you guys want to see it. So let's go back to this. It is not in the cycle. So now when we press play, good. Okay, so now we're here. We click on this, change base plate's color. Change base plate's color. I'm spamming it right now. See, it's not being glitchy like it was before. It's just being 3 seconds like the wait cycle. I mean, I don't know if you guys can notice it too well, but I mean, this is very, very helpful. So, but there's another thing. I'm actually gonna change this from when you click on it to when you're hovering over it. So I'm gonna stick in a while waits loop. So I'm gonna get this whole thing in right here. Just copy that, put it here, and we're gonna delete this line so it doesn't actually trigger the event. So now, and then we're gonna delete all these things right here. So it's gonna be up here. This is only gonna be this. So what I'm doing, I'm transferring this if statement we just made over to the while wait loop. So now when we play this, load. Uh-oh. Okay, that's a problem. If mouse.target. Okay. Hang on, guys. Here, guys, 1 second. Okay, so I just quickly just discovered another error mode. So we actually need to say if mouse.target is not equal to nil, because you can't find something that's not nil. So we're gonna do this little and statement. Little and thing right here. So this is just saying if the mouse's target is not nil. So if the mouse is not looking at the sky or something. So I just put that in there. And now this should be working, because there are no properties of the sky or nil. Because up here, everything up here is nil. This is the natural part. So now when you hover over this, you see, changes the base plate's color. And you can also customize with this, so you don't have to have that weight and everything. I just think it's kind of nice. You can read it. But that's pretty much the tutorial. And when you click this, you see, it does the little operation. So now I'm just gonna play around with this after, and I'm gonna show you we can have multiple things going on right here. So let's just get another button. Let's just name it like, we can put the clickable thing to like hi, I like cheese or something. And so this is a different part. I'm just gonna distinguish it, make it green. So as you can see, this says change base plate's color. And it says, hi, I like cheese. I don't like goat cheese though. Sorry. And you see, like, it's not haven't really glitching. It's like, it's smoother. So I'm gonna do one more little thing really quickly. I'm gonna change this so it's not gonna wait anytime. It's just gonna be, so yeah. So I'm gonna change this up a little bit. So if you wanted that, if you want it to not have this wait cycle, then so I'm gonna put a little else right here, and then I'm gonna get rid of all this debounce stuff. Don't even care about that anymore. So just get rid of all of that. And so now what this is doing is if the mouse's target is not equal to nil. Oh wait, gotta stick this in here. Actually, never mind. We don't need that. So if mouse target is not equal to nil, and you can find the clickable part. So if the mouse is focused on the clickable part, then make the thing appear, the text, the click info text label shown over here in the Explorer. But if it's not focused on anything, so if the mouse isn't focused on anything, then just make it not visible. So let this load in. And when you click on this, you see I'm hovering over it. You see this? It's kind of, it like appears, then I take it off. I appear, take it off. So it's like I'm selecting them. This is probably the better way to do it. What I would like in the game, personally. So that is the tutorial. And thank you guys so much for watching, and hope you enjoyed or found this video helpful. So goodbye.